Now, President Trump recently made some headlines after agreeing to do a little bit of a deal with the Democrats in order to protect Dreamers. Now, Dreamers, of course, are people who were brought here through no fault of their own as children. And thanks to DACA, put in by President Obama, we're actually allowed to live, work, study, pay taxes, and even serve in the military without fear of being deported. Now, as I said, that was an Obama-era program. Donald Trump happens to go after pretty much every policy that Obama had put into place. Now, this would, of course, impact about 800,000 people that had come here, that had been brought here illegally, again, through no fault of their own. Now, interestingly enough, since this was an Obama-era policy, he got rid of it, but then decided, hey, man, I had been previously in support of things like DACA, so I'm going to do my own version, and I'm going to get all the credit for it, which I think is something that is definitely Trump. Now, what's also interesting is the fact that this is actually really popular across the aisle. It earns majority support among Democrats, Republicans, and basically the American people. Now, however, there is one group of people that are not happy about this, and that's conservatives. And they, of course, wasted no time in going after the president. Now, a lot of these happen to be prominent Trump supporters and white nationalists. And that's people like Sam Nunberg. Now, Nunberg was one of his former campaign advisors. He said in an interview Thursday morning, the reality is sinking in that the Trump administration is on the precipice of turning into an establishment presidency. Representative Steve King also weighed in, and he said Trump base is blown up, destroyed, irreparable, and disillusioned beyond repair. No promise is credible. That's, of course, if they actually come to a deal on DACA. And look, Steve, Sam, you should already know this. Trump is an unbelievable liar. Yeah, of course he's going to flip-flop on positions. Of course he's going to lie about previous positions and change his positions. That's what he does. He is unpredictable. Now, more conservative outrage. Next, we have Laura Ingraham. She tweets, exactly what Donald Trump campaigned on. Not. She added, build the wall, build the wall. Or maybe not really. Sounds kind of like lock her up, even though, you know, we don't really care anymore, right? And that's what he said at his one of his rallies. Or what about drain the swamp? They didn't actually mean it. He thought it was hokey. He didn't like it at all. But he kept saying it because it played well. Now, this isn't me making this up. I'm not falsely attributing quotes. There are videos out there that show him saying that. These videos exist. I'm not making it up. It's not fake news, okay? You can find it for yourself. But anyway, now that he's flipped on some of those things, well, look, for one, I think that means that he's not an ideologue, right? And number two, it just means he has no loyalty to anyone but himself. Now, that's good and bad, right? Now, one reason, like, okay, if it's advantageous to him, then he'll support it, even if it means dealing with the Democrats. Again, we've seen that. Now, the bad thing about that is that he's got no core beliefs or principles, which make it very hard for him to pin down. Now, he's also very reliant on the information that he receives, as well as the media perception, right? So that means he's very able to be manipulated, which could be very, very bad, especially considering we have a more establishment group of people around him. Now, I have more conservative reaction. This is fun. This is from Ann Coulter. Ann Coulter said, this guy's like a couch. He picks up whatever the person is sitting on him is wearing. Now, this during an appearance with WBAL's Derek Hunter, conservative talk show. She also continues, whatever his audience wants him to say, he says, which is why some of us have been concerned. She also later tweeted out, at this point, who doesn't want Trump impeached? Also saying, if we're not getting a wall, I prefer President Pence. In another tweet, she said, let's play Jeopardy, answer an Easter egg. Question, what's the only thing easier to roll than Donald J. Trump? So that's pretty harsh, man. Now, there's even more from Coulter. She talked to the Daily Beast, and she told him, quote, you put your money down on a horse. Sometimes he doesn't win, place, or show. So she's very disillusioned with Mr. Trump right now, thanks to the two deals with the Democrats, including the possible DACA deal. So now, there's Ann Coulter. Let's go to Breitbart. Now, Breitbart ran a story with the headline in bright red, Amnesty Don. Now, furthermore, there was a Breitbart editor who talked to the Washington Post in a phone call, and he said, quote, "This is a betrayal of the highest order. Donald Trump should be ashamed of himself. He wasn't elected to do this." And, of course, the editor was mostly backed by the site's readers, who said, quote, "Put a fork in Trump. He is done. Primary time. What a huge letdown. And I can reconcile Trump caving on virtually every issue. Amnesty and not building the wall are not one of them." There's more. There's another angry conservative being mentioned here is ex-Congressman Joe Walsh. Now, he went on MSNBC. He had this to say.
This is a betrayal. Look, this issue is different. Republican voters will not line up lock, step, and barrel behind President Trump. This issue got Trump elected, period. No amnesty, build the damn wall. And if he betrays that promise, Craig, this was the essence of his campaign. If he betrays that promise, he's dead. He is dead among his base. Millions and millions of voters will abandon him. They'll abandon him, Craig.
Joe, is that not hyperbole? I mean, he also promised repeal and replace on day one.
No. But respectfully, didn't know what repeal, replace of Obamacare meant. He ran on this issue. This issue, not Obamacare. I got elected to Congress because of Obamacare. He got elected because of the wall and amnesty. Bar none. If he goes back on this, I think he's through. Millions and millions will walk from him.
Oh, man. So, Congressman Joe Walsh, not exactly happy. Now, we go from MSNBC, now to Fox News. Now, according to Fox News, on Twitter, Fox host Lou Dobbs tweeted out, quote, deep state wins, huge loss for MAGA. Sean Hannity, now, Sean Hannity was an interesting case. He didn't actually come out against the president, but instead decided to blame the whole deal on Mitch McConnell. He said, "Well, Mitch, great job. You failed us so miserably with healthcare and excessive expectations. Now POTUS has to deal with Dem leaders." Oh my God, he's got to deal with the Democrats on an actually very popular policy. And now Hannity later added, "I blame ours, they caused this. They wanted him to fail and now pushed him in the arms of political suicide, if true." Wait a minute. Again, how's doing a deal that a majority of Americans actually agree with, Republicans included, how is that political suicide? It's an interesting question. Then again, logic, never Hannity's strong suit. Look, these policies might actually be, these deals and policies might actually be helping Trump. Now, look, I don't have any polls to back that up, and I'll be completely honest on that. However, there are other polls that suggest that Republicans are, unlike what Joe Walsh says, oh, the Republicans, they'll walk away by the millions for Trump if they do bipartisan deals with the Democrats on DACA. Well, it turns out that, no, you're actually wrong. There's a recent Rasmussen poll that found 66% of likely U.S. voters said that it was good for the country if Trump works with congressional Democrats to advance his agenda. Republicans, 72%, are even more enthusiastic about the president working with Democrats than actual Democrats, which is at 62%, and voters now affiliated with either major party. So, look, again, DACA, very popular, even among Republicans. I even saw a couple of tweets talking about DACA from Trump supporters that said, hey, man, if you work hard, you pay your taxes, I don't care. Like, yes, you can be here. Like, we're fine with those guys, but we just don't like the stereotypical brown person. You know, that sponges off the welfare. We hate those brown people. Okay. Well, at least you're clear on that. But anyway, like I said, not so much political suicide. And look, we know Trump. We know that he responds to positive news coverage. And as long as he's getting this positive news coverage, and as well as policies that he can claim are wins that he can put his name on, well, then he's going to keep going in this direction. Much to the chagrin of Ann Coulter, Steve Bannon, and his white nationalist friends. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.